What is up, my friends? It is 8:30. It is Sunday night to Late Night Agenda. And just to answer a quick question in the chat, I'm not back to the 8:30 starts. It's just we play earlier in the day. I like to come on at 8:30 so I can finish up around 10. But normally we will be 8:45, my friends. But wow, loads to go through today. Something happened. Oh yeah, we're top of the league by 8 points. Did I say it was 8 points? Because it is 8 points. What was that? 5 points? It's not 5 points. It was 5 points. It's now 8 points. Despite the best intentions of Mr. Michael Oliver and VAR, we still found a way to win that game. And yay. And of course, United then went and showed us that they're back. So we know that now. United are back. They managed to get a draw at Ipswich. So that's an incredible result for Ruben Amorim's side. So, look, I jest, but obviously I am so happy as a Liverpool fan right now. I'm not here to tell all of you guys whether you want to get ahead of yourselves or not get ahead of yourself. But what I am going to repeat is, don't be afraid of being leaders. Don't be afraid of being top of the league. Don't be ashamed about being 8 points clear. And don't be afraid to get a little bit optimistic as well. You know, we're not the media. We don't have to measure our expectations. We can dream. We're fans. Right, so let's get straight back into what we need to talk about today, because I want to just start off with a bit of an homage to Mohamed Salah, if I can, because I've watched back that first goal again that he scored today, and just the cleverness of the finish. If my memory's right, I think it was Gravenberch who lofted the ball over to him. But wow, what a tidy finish. Just the toe poke past the outcoming Alex McCarthy. Never gave him a chance to set himself. And yeah, that was just what we needed at that moment. And then obviously we got our own penalty, which Mo tucked away. And we leave St. Mary's with the 3 points. It was certainly harder work than we needed to make it, but it is what it is. I'll tell you what though, from a content creator's point of view, that was pretty much the perfect afternoon. Liverpool go ahead, then there's an iffy penalty that gets scored against us, then we go 2-1 down and all the trolls come in, then we equalise and then we go ahead and win, and then I get to have a pop back at them. It is just a perfect evening. I would have rather a handy 3 or 4 nil Liverpool win, but I'll tell you what, I'm enjoying life today. Craig, if we sign a quality 6, what does that mean for Ryan? What I would say, Omar, is it doesn't really change anything for Ryan. It just gives Arne Slot another option. Because, you know, Ryan can't play, what would he play between international games and club games? 65, 70 games. We need to ease some of that burden on him. And we also don't want Ryan suffering with burnout as his career progresses. So I think the smart thing to do is to try and find that midfielder, bring him in and give Arne Slot the ability to give Ryan a breather every now and again. Just in from work, seeing results there, said Ella. Well, I'm sure you're happy, Ella, and why wouldn't you be? Cracking day of football. By the way, what a game in the Championship earlier on. I don't know if you guys seen it. Swansea 3, Leeds 4. Crazy game in there as well. Jacob, how are you, sir? First super chat of the night. Appreciate you, mate. So Jacob said, get in the Reds, give Mo Salah all the money he wants. Now, look, you've heard me say a lot of things, and it's always give Mo what he wants with regards to a contract, but I stand over what I said. I wouldn't be looking to give him a pay rise. But look, at this point, it just feels like there is no option other than to make sure that he gets his deal and that they find a way to sort it out, because he can't do any more at this point. You know, he's continuing to rewrite the record books. Once again, today, steps up, 2 goals. You know, the man can do no more. So we hope that Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards can figure out a way to make it work, because it just seems unfathomable at this point to think about losing Mo. GDem, how are you, my friend? Lovely to see you in. Said, hi Lord, sorry to ask you, how's the shirt hunting? Again, it's not going well. You wouldn't believe, GDem, and I know your name and I'm forcing myself not to say it because I don't want to give away your identity. Honestly, you wouldn't believe the amount of people I'm on the lookout for shirts for. My psychologist has me looking out for a shirt as well. So if I find one, I will be in touch, but I am trying. I won't steer anybody to any of the iffy ones from eBay or anything because I don't trust them. Some sellers on there are absolutely bona fide, but I would say A1 Memorabilia is a good place to start looking as well. But yes, I haven't forgotten. I'm just genuinely playing catch up. It's so busy at the minute. Karma at City, Liverpool top of the league. Life is just great right now, said Patrick. Thank you, Patrick. And as a Liverpool fan, mate, I am very happy with life. Because I'll be honest with you all, I didn't expect Spurs to get anything off Manchester City this weekend. I thought that Manchester City were going to respond to Guardiola's new deal, and I thought they were going to absolutely trounce Spurs. So it was important that Liverpool did their part of the bargain this weekend. Obviously, Arsenal took care of business against Forest, and we know going into this game against City next week that nothing but a win today was good enough. And come hell or high water, they found a way to get it done. It might not have been pretty. We might have some concerns moving forward about certain aspects, but I tell you what, they showed hearts, they showed guts, and they got the job done. Ashley Dooley, thank you, sir, for your super chat. Said, are we really going to let Salah walk out the door for free? Pay the man. I can't see a world, Ashley, where it doesn't get sorted out. You know, because look at it from any angle you want. For him, where is it going to be any better than this? You know, where is he going to go? Where he's going to be adored more? Where he's got a chance to achieve everything he wants to achieve? It just feels like it has to be sorted, you know, and I wish we could all steer the conversation, and I wish we could get in Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards' ear, and, you know, they know what the fans want. I'm sure they want to make it happen, but, you know, it's just nervy, isn't it, until we see these things sorted out. So it would seem so crazy to think about losing them, wouldn't it? Don't be happy we haven't played anybody yet. It's a fair point, mate, yeah. That's one thing that... do you know what's astonished me more than anything else? So I've gotten used to some Liverpool fans being a little bit reactionary to us not playing well or going behind and stuff, but what's really surprised me has been the amount of Liverpool fans that are apparently a little bit scared to dream or to speak about being favourites. I'm with Mohamed Salah in this camp. We shouldn't be thinking of ourselves as underdogs. We're a club with a great squad, a very good manager, and have put ourselves in a great position. And don't be afraid to embrace that. You know, you don't have to say we are winning the league, but don't be afraid to be a front runner. Don't be afraid to say it's everybody else's job to catch up now. You know, it's good times. You should celebrate them and enjoy them. We're fans. We're supposed to dream. We're supposed to lose all sense of reality, and we're supposed to look ahead for the future. Craig, you're a legend, a real inspiration for me. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. And if I remember correctly, you're on a content journey as well. I hope it's going well for you. I think I remember correctly, and you're telling me that before. Right, let's get cracking with some of your comments. Would it be disrespectful to play a weakened team against Real Madrid so we can hammer City? So I wouldn't go with the weakened team part, Barry, but I would say to you, mate, for me, I won't say I'm not fussed about Real Madrid, because you always want to do well and play well against Real Madrid. But certainly I don't think there's any doubt the bigger game is next Sunday. Because if you can open up an 11-point gap over the reigning champions, that puts you in a damn good position. You know, they'd have to nigh on go invincible to have any chance after that. You know, win every single game. So for me, as long as we don't lose to Manchester City, I'm confident that we're going to keep doing what we need to do. Because the really funny thing for me is, and I don't know if everybody agrees or not, but I don't think we've played anywhere near our best yet. And that should be worrying for other teams. We've found ways to win games, maybe not playing at our best, maybe not defending at our best at times. Certainly there was stuff today I didn't like and we'll pick over, but you know what, when we hit top gear, what are we going to be like? It's brilliant. We deserve to be here. 2-3 contracts done before Christmas, said GDem. That's what we all want, isn't it? Get the contract sorted out, keep the good vibes going, pick up the wins, hopefully beat City next weekend. You know, try to put our best foot forward in the January transfer window, get that midfielder in. But look, I think if you want me to be entirely honest with what I'm seeing right now, I'm starting to get more and more concerned by the left-back situation, because, you know, we can talk about Andy Robertson and the manager saying that he's not fully up to speed yet and he had a broken up pre-season. But we are now, 18 games into the campaign in all competitions? I think he's had more than enough time to build up a fitness, and I'm starting to worry that it isn't a fitness thing with Andy Robertson, that maybe it's just a sign that his best days are behind him. Now, we didn't have Costas today, so there was no option for the manager. But I do think that's an area of the pitch we should certainly be looking to move on to in the next couple of windows. Jayden Dan's hat-trick versus Real Madrid, said Rabadan, no doubt. I don't think he'll be in the squad, mate, in all honesty. But it is great to see Jayden Dan's back. You know, we have Harvey Elliott back. He was on the bench today as well, which was great to see. Hopefully Trent and Alisson not too far away either, and then it's just Chiesa and Diogo Jota we're waiting on. Craig, is Dara an Irish name? I've never heard the name until centre-back Dara O'Shea scored against Chelsea. It may be, and there's various ways to spell it. There's the D-A-R-A that you've said there, Petter, and then there's D-A-R-A-G-H is another way. But I don't know if it originated in Ireland. Probably sounds very Irish. What else we got? Imagine we go and win the league with 0 L's. Well, we've already lost, mate. So, you know, we've already lost one game to Nottingham Forest, remember, in the league. So, you know, that's not possible. But that could have been a good thing for us because it certainly seemed to refocus us. And ever since that game, we've been, you know, outside of the draw against Arsenal away, which you're never going to say is a bad result, we've been pretty perfect. Benjamin Alford, thank you, Benjamin, for your super chat, mate, said, I panicked when Ryan Gravenberch went down. He's so integral. The fullbacks worry me against Madrid. So, like yourself, I was petrified when I seen Gravenberch go down, particularly when I looked at what caused it. It wasn't a nasty challenge or anything. He was just knocked into and he seemed to roll his ankle or roll the top of his foot. But he did get up and finish the game. So, it does let us know, though, Benjamin, doesn't it, that we do have, you know, concerns there if we picked up an injury. So, it makes me even more robust in my belief that we need to get that midfielder sorted out. Hope Oliver isn't on our game next Sunday, said David Massa. So, I would be astounded if Michael Oliver or Anthony Taylor aren't involved in some way in this game against City next week, whether on VAR or on refereeing duties. Now, we've all calmed down a little bit since the game earlier on, and I want to know what everybody thinks about the decisions in the game. Let's go through them one by one. So, their penalty. I feel like there is more than enough evidence to show that that wasn't inside the box. And I feel like the mental gymnastics of the PGMOL's officials in trying to say there was no conclusive evidence to overturn the referee's decision points to a couple of things. One, a massive flaw in the rules that just gives these officials a get-out-of-jail-free card to not make a decision. And two, if there was doubt about it and Michael Oliver didn't feel that he could conclusively make the call, then why not ask the referee to have another look at it? Again, when Michael Oliver's involved, he doesn't ever seem to want to send the referee to a monitor. Why didn't he ask the referee to have his own look at it? And then we can still have the decision with the referee, but after he gets a second chance. Because I think we can all agree, in real time, in that moment, difficult one for the ref to figure out whether it was in or outside. He had to make a judgment call. So I've got sympathy with the ref on that one. But I've no sympathy with Oliver. I've seen multiple angles that make me feel very comfortable to say that was outside the box. But again, my big question is, why not ask the ref to make his own judgment? So, if anybody does think that's a penalty, I am truly astounded by what you're watching. Because if you're a Liverpool fan, wow. If you're not a Liverpool fan, I would ask what would you think if it was your team. But there are other incidents in the game I want to talk about. I do feel, and I wouldn't have complained if they got a penalty for the Kelleher challenge. Do you know the one where Kelleher came out into their forward? If that had have been given, I don't think I could have had too many complaints. I do feel like on that one, maybe we got a bit of a rub of a green. The hand on Armstrong, that was a joke. The fact that he went to ground like that, I thought was quite embarrassing, quite frankly. But it does speak to a bigger problem with Canade pushing people. Because you've seen the yellow card that he got in the game. Sorry. YouTube's doing this really weird thing lately where it's just booting me off for a second and I have to refresh it. So bear with me one sec. I hope you didn't lose the stream, but I'm refreshed it there and we should be back anyway. It's done it quite a bit. Just boot you out randomly for no reason. And then you have to come back in. But anyway, sorry. I digress. Where's this one? Sorry, bear with me. There we go. Yeah, I wouldn't have moaned too much if that had been a penalty in all honesty. Do you know, and I still haven't seen the handball. Because if you watch any of the content today, I spoke about that penalty and I thought it was for Darwin getting dragged to the ground. And still, I still think that could have been a penalty in its own right. But I haven't actually still seen the handball yet. So I'm still going to see that later on. James, you retracted your message, bro. I still have it here, I think. So I can bring it up. So you said this time 2019 we had an 18-point gap against Man City. This year we can make it 11. I don't think we ever did have... Oh, the year we won it. Sorry. Yeah, the year we won it, we raced away to Cantor, James. I don't remember the exact points tally, but we did absolutely race away with it. Shane B said, no conclusive evidence. The same ref who sent Coup to the monitor for the West Ham penalty given against Evans in Eric Ten Hag's last game, Oliver, is a joke. And by the way, Shane is a United fan. So, I had sympathy with Shane for that penalty when it was given against United. And to be fair to Shane and other United fans, they've reached out today again to say that that was absolutely shambolic. Oliver, we've got to be very careful about what we say here. But a lot of the time, he's at the scene of the crime, whether it be for us or anybody else. And I do not understand, again, how he's getting away with it. No conclusive evidence, me arse, is what I say about that. Because I've seen two angles that show very much it was outside the box. What have I had for supper? I haven't eaten yet, Lee. I haven't eaten. I told you I eat once a day, mate, at about 1 a.m. So I haven't eaten anything. Just drank coffee and water so far. See what they say on Match of the... Oh, by the way, did you see Roy Keane at the Ipswich game? Again, trying to call people out to the car park. Have you seen it? There's, I think, a couple of accounts on X are sharing it around, and somebody posted it in our Discord group, so I seen it. Asking another one of the Ipswich fans out to the car park. I didn't know Roy Keane was into dogging. Do you know what I mean? He seems to be very happy to get out to the car park. Jokes. I know he's not. That was a joke. But the whole idea of him calling people out to the car park's also a joke. I mean, rise above it, for the love of God. I think the reasoning was that Robbo hit him outside the box and carried on into the box. No, that's not what was said, Muiz. We actually have the statement posted from the match centre, and it was, the referee's call of a penalty for the challenge by Robertson on Dibbling is checked and confirmed by VAR, who deemed there was no conclusive evidence that the contact occurred outside the penalty area. No talk of it continuing into the penalty area. The decision and the reason being was that they couldn't conclusively prove that it was outside, when it was absolutely outside. So yeah, there was none of this carrying it on into the penalty area. Nope. The excuse given was no conclusive proof. But look, didn't cost us in the end, despite his best attempts. By the way, I wouldn't be going in on Amarim yet. I mean, even me as a Liverpool fan, it's his first game. It was funny to see them draw at Ipswich because, but it's still his first game. And let's be honest, I don't care what anybody says, he's not going to be able to turn that current group into superstars. There are some players underperforming in there, but they've also bought really poorly, Manchester United. I wouldn't be judging Ten Hag, not Ten Hag, he's gone, Amarim off one game, but still not the perfect start from either. Do you know what was funny though? I wondered at the end, was he thinking, I'm so used to having Gyökeres to score these late winners and all, and now he's looking at Xerxes skying them from everywhere. Craig, did you see the banner asking when will City ever score again? I haven't, mate. No, I haven't. Stargirl, lovely to see you, my friend. Said, didn't see the game. I was out. I wish pundits would stop saying we're now going to win the league. It's only November. Scared this will jinx us. Why? Why are you scared, mate? Honestly, I don't understand what people are scared of. Like, somebody says something. It has no real relevance on anything. If I sat here and said we're winning the league, it's not going to impact anything. It's just me getting ahead of myself and getting excited. I get what you mean. I know the manager has to say it, and the players have to say it, and maybe the media has to say it, and they have to temper their expectations. But we're fans. We should be living the dream. And I don't know why people are scared. Embrace it. Embrace being top of the league. Embrace being 8 points clear. And don't fear it, because we shouldn't. You know, who knows what happens over the course of the season? Honestly, we don't know. Maybe we get rain back in, maybe we don't. But it's fun now. And on anything that's worthwhile, a journey to get to, that journey is part of the fun. You know, you don't just celebrate when you lift a trophy. You celebrate the milestones. You celebrate days like today where maybe that could have been a draw. Maybe in years gone by we wouldn't have been able to turn it round. But today, once again, it underlined that these boys are serious about it and can never be counted out. So I respect anybody who doesn't want to get ahead of themselves. I totally understand where you're coming from. But it just isn't me. I'm absolutely buzzing and flying and I don't care. Because you know what? I can't win either way. When we went 2-1 down today, I was being blamed. Not by you guys, but by a lot of people in the chat. This is because of you. This is because you were laughing at City. This is because. Then when we start winning, I don't remember being told how great I was and that I'm the reason why we're winning. The whole thing is mental. I can't influence the outcome of a game of football as much as I would love to be able to. And nor can I jinx us. So, you know, each to their own. But I'm going to celebrate the moments. I'm going to get ahead of myself, get excited. Because that's what football fandom is about. Cal Downs, thank you, bro, for your super chat. Said, hope you're good, Craig. I mean, come on now. Come on. Well, of course I'm good. I've got lots of nummy food ready for later on. I've got NFL to watch tonight. Match of the day 2. Liverpool top of the league by 8 points. Real Madrid and Manchester City to come this week. They're living the dream here, bro. Real dilemma with Alisson and Kelleher now. Ali is a legend, but I think Kelleher has done enough to be number 1. Same with Jota. Due to injuries, I think maybe he goes in the summer. So, again, on both of these debates, I think I can understand both sides of it. I can understand people feeling Alisson deserves to come back in straight away and become number 1. I feel and understand people who think Kelleher should maybe keep going. Ultimately, it's the manager's decision that will count, and he's made it very clear that Alisson's the number 1, and once he's fit, he's coming back in. So, all I can say is I'm extremely grateful for Kelleher and what he's been able to do, and he's done his future career prospects no harm whatsoever. On top of that, the second part about Diogo Jota, again, I can understand both sides of it. I'm a little bit more ruthless around these type of things. So for me, a player that's available and great when he's available is one thing. But if he's injured for 20-25% of every season, I don't think that's going to be good enough for us when we're working with a fairly small squad. Or we're working with, you know, today we had no options off the bench in attack. We had 2 strikers or 2 forwards unavailable. 1 for fitness concerns and 1 for the bruised rib. It's no good to us. You know, I can understand in my head and make peace with the Chiesa thing because he's still getting up to speed. But with Diogo, I mean, what use is he if he's not available to us when we really, really need him? So, again, I can understand other people's thoughts on it. But for me, if we're looking at bringing in a forward... And by the way, let me say something really clear. I'm sound with us not bringing in any forwards. If Mohamed Salah extends, I've no problem with Diogo and Darwin staying. None whatsoever. But if we do have to move somebody on for a forward, my own thought processes would be Diogo Jota. But, again, it's just my opinion. Dave, how are you, bro? Dave said, it's becoming more of a joke with all Michael Oliver's decisions. I think there's more than meets the eye with him. Do you know, I read a few different outlets today. So I went and had a look at the Athletic comment section around the game. And I was astonished to hear people calling us cry arses and saying it was a nailed on penalty. And again, like I always say, this type of behaviour is what allows these people to feel emboldened to make these potentially season-defining decisions because they know they're only annoying one set of fans. Unless we come together and call this crap out, united as a group of fans across the board, nothing will change. And today, as I said, it was us. As Shane pointed out with a super chat earlier on, it was United a few weeks ago. We deserve better. The football public deserve better. And some of these decisions are not even close. The handball for Odegaard was never close in games gone past. I can't remember who was in charge of that. But I know Oliver was around when the Doku kick was there into McAllister's chest. Didn't have the bottle to send the ref to the monitor. And that's the thing that worries me most about Michael Oliver on VAR, is that he's just not sending the referees to the monitor. He's making the decision. So, as I said earlier on, that was a difficult call for the referee in real time today. No argument about that. But if Oliver isn't sure, why not ask the ref to have a look? And if the ref doesn't feel like he's sure again, then maybe you got to stick with his on-field decision. But he doesn't do that. He makes the decisions, and then the rest of us have to suffer his consequences. And again, get out of jail free card. When it suits them, clear and obvious, it doesn't matter, does it? When it suits them. When VAR and their mental gymnastics work and they go, oh, there was not enough evidence to overturn it. It's a joke. And the sooner the better we get rid of these clowns, or we start getting better officiating, because it is substandard and it isn't good enough. And I'm never going to accuse somebody of being a blatant cheat in favour of somebody else. But I'm also not going to sit here and just see this every week and not speak up. Gary, how are you, sir? VAR needs to be like rugby. Ref says what he thinks to a TV official. They all look at it and discuss on the screens in the stadium, and we can all hear it. Yep, transparency. And Gary, we know football seems to be afraid of transparency. Absolutely, we should all be hearing what's being said. We should hear the decision making. We should hear the thought process from the VAR. But we don't. And do you know what makes it even worse, Gary? It's the likes of Neville and those guys who aren't calling this crap out and are protecting the officials over and over and over. When the Coote stuff happened, they couldn't rally around quick enough to say, oh, he shouldn't lose his job. He should be just not officiating Liverpool games. Fuck off. You don't think that David Coote, if he wanted to shaft us, could do it not refereeing our games? You don't think he could impact the title race if he so wanted to in another way? You know, let's go back to the Rodri handball incident against Everton. That impacted our title race, but it wasn't in our game. So we need to start being realistic that, yes, there are many honest, sincere referees who go out to do their best. But there are some people who just aren't fit for the job or are making very, very questionable decisions. And then you have the likes of Kyle Walker out complimented Michael Oliver, said, oh, Ollie, bravery, brave decision. That's why he's the best in England. No, he bottled it. There was no bravery about it. He bottled it. And today, once again, Michael Oliver had to have his name mentioned from what was a fairly straightforward call. I think a weakness is the left-back position, said Monkey House. Tsimikas is our best left-back so far. Robertson's on the decline, a bit like Walker at City. I'd like to strengthen in January. So, I've got to say, I'm not going to change my stance on Costa's not being good enough. He's been better. Absolutely, he's been better. But I still think, like you've said, that's a position that we can strengthen in. So, yeah, I'm with you. I'm worried that Arna's wrong about Andy Robertson. I'm worried that it isn't just a fitness thing, because 18 games in and we're still not seeing it. And I don't want it to be a decline from Andy Robertson, because we all love Robbo. But, you know, we can't just keep banging our head against the wall. Football's a ruthless business. And, you know, if there's an opportunity to improve, we should always look to do it. Can't wait for us to play Real Madrid, said Tammy, and Man City. So, how are we all feeling ahead of the Madrid game? Do you want us to go full pelt in that game? Or do you have one eye on the Manchester City game on the Sunday? Because for me, looking at it, in the course of the season, you would have to say the result against Real Madrid probably won't have a big impact one way or the other. If we lose, we'll probably still find our way into the top 8. Certainly we'll find our way into the latter stages of the Champions League. But the game at Man City, a win there makes it a very, very different landscape. Then you're talking about them having to pull back 11 points, having played us once. So for me, my focus will be on that. Now, I don't want to throw the game against Madrid or anything like it, but certainly feel like we can take a draw at home if we need to in the Champions League. Full pelt against Madrid. If we're going to win, we're going to go in on a high against City, said Sharkbait. Both games. Well, there is enough time. So Wednesday, Sunday, both at home as well. You know, we got to remember that. So there's no travelling for the lads. And that is a bonus, definitely. Bash M said, F the PGMOL, United should be our team name. I don't know what you mean by the United part. But yes, I'm all for the FD PGMOL part, mate. Ryan O'Driscoll said, go for the jugular against Manchester City. I agree, but I also want to see who the ref is for the game, because every fibre of my body believes we're seeing Anthony Taylor or Michael Oliver somewhere in that lineup of referees and assistants. Do you think we can have an unbeaten run in the Champions League? No, I don't. I think somewhere along the line you lose a game, whether it's a two-legged tie away from home or whatever. But, I also can sit here, Lee, and tell you we won't go on and win it, because it's so difficult to call cup competitions. It depends on so many variables. One red card here, a penalty there, one poor performance in a knockout stage. It's a lot more volatile. You look at a league and you can map your way through. Once we play City, we'll have then played Chelsea once, Arsenal once, United once, City once. Difficult games. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. Average American said, who's your centre-back signing? Haven't really thought about one too much, mate, in all honesty, because right now the priority is shifting for me. So midfielder was always the top target. Then centre-back. But now I'm thinking left-back's more of a priority than centre-back, especially if we can keep Joe around. I'm going to both matches next week. Well in, Rachel. Well in. The next one I'm over for is the Lille game in January, so can't wait. The Detective, thank you, sir, for your super chat, said, we should finish in the top 8 despite the Madrid result. City game could be massive, and we also have Newcastle and Everton coming up. Have to rotate. Yeah, that's a good point. And just to follow on from your point, just so everybody knows what is coming up and in what order. So we've got we've got Real Madrid Wednesday night. Then we've got Manchester City at home at 4 o'clock on the Sunday. Then we've got Newcastle United on the Wednesday. And then we play Everton in the derby at 12:30 on the Saturday. So it is a big week, or 2 weeks I should say, with games coming thick and fast. And like I said, there's 10 more games now between now and the end of December. So yeah, squad rotation and management is going to be important. Are we away or home, by the way, against Newcastle? I honestly can't remember if we're home or away for that game. I know it's on the Wednesday night, but I can't remember. It must be away, though, because we've had a couple of home games. We are away, thank you, mate. Yeah, so that's going to be a difficult one. And then, obviously, the Merseyside derby at 12:30 on the Saturday. Yeah, it's not going to be easy to go up to St James's Park. It's always a difficult place to go. So, yeah, that's going to be a tough one. So, if we lost to City and go up there and drop more points, that would be, City could be back within, say we drew at Newcastle, City could be back within what then? 3? So, it is important. Make sure we don't lose to City is priority number 1 for me. I wasn't able to watch the game. Can you give me a quick roundup of how we played? Not great is the honest answer. Very hit and miss. We looked vulnerable in the full-back positions. Up top, Darwin worked hard but didn't create too much. Gakpo didn't really do anything to nail down that position. We looked brighter, I thought, when Diaz came on and McAllister came on. Mohamed Salah scored a great goal and took the penalty well. Szoboszlai's finished for his goal, top notch, left foot, top corner. Came exactly how I said a goal would come, by the way, which was us pressing Southampton, with them going short from the goal kick and it being turned over and us scoring. Then we had the very unlucky penalty, which Quiveen was very unlucky with as well, because he made the initial save. And other than that, it was just Liverpool grinding it out, not accepting their fate at 2-1 down. And finally, when we went 2-1 down, we really started to play like we needed to get something going. And we did. We looked much better. We controlled the game far better after that. Excuse me. City should be easy next week after yesterday, but Madrid will be a difficult match in the Champions League. Yeah, but we've got wiggle room in the Champions League, thankfully. So let's say we drew there. It's not going to really impact us too much. Then we've got Girona in the Champions League, Lille in the Champions League. Is it PSV Eindhoven? Was that the other game then in the Champions League as well? What's my favourite car make? Mercedes. I drive a Renault, but my favourite car make is Mercedes. I'll let you in on a little secretly. I went over to Liverpool for the show last week, and I got a hire car for the day, and we hired a Mercedes CLA, and now I want one. Now myself and Sabrina are trying to do the maths to see if the middle of next year we could afford to change to a Mercedes CLA, because I've never been able to afford a new Mercedes in life, and maybe if the channel keeps going the way it is, maybe I can have a dream year of actually buying the house and getting the dream car. It wouldn't be the dream car, but it'd be good. Thoughts on the Southampton penalty? I was at the game and it seemed we had the normal post-international break game. So glad we don't have another international break for 3 months. So I thought it was never a penalty, Kelsey. I thought it was outside the box. I felt like they could have had another penalty for the Kelleher challenge. I thought I wouldn't have really complained if that was given. But yeah, it was outside the box. I'm never going to be convinced otherwise. I'm looking at an image of it right now on my computer and it still baffles me that it was given. Paul said, really important that these injuries clear up. Yes, well look, it looks like the back of that injury crisis has been broken, Paul. So we've seen Elliott in the squad today, but now we've picked up a knock for Costas, and I don't know how much that knock is going to impact him. I don't know if he'll be available on Wednesday. We didn't really get too much information on it other than Ian Doyle saying on X that Costas picked up a knock in training. So we also think Alisson and Trent aren't too far away. You know, you'd hope and have an eye on the Man City game maybe for them. After that, then it's just going to be Chiesa and Diogo. So yeah, hopefully we don't pick up any fresh new ones, Paul. But fingers crossed. So far, so good. My wife has a Porsche. Very nicely, very nice. Cars over here in Ireland, mate, scandalously expensive, by the way. Whatever you pay in England, whack about 30% on top of it over here. Isaac said, I prefer winning against Man City, and if you can win against Madrid, that'll be the icing on the cake. Absolutely. But embrace it. You know, what a week to look forward to. 2 cracking games. Gomez is great at left back if we're short. Yeah, honestly, that's kind of where my head's at the minute, mate. Who was it? Was it Darren that said that? Yeah, Darren, that's kind of where my head's at. Going into this game, if Costas isn't fit on Wednesday, I definitely would be looking at going for Joe Gomez at left back or right back. I feel like one of those positions needs to be changed because I wasn't overly happy with either today. You know, with Conor Bradley, I can look at it and think, right, he's a youngster still learning his trade. So, no issues there. But yeah, on the other side as well, just was not very good in the full-back positions today. Rachel drives a Mercedes. Of course you do, Rachel. Of course. Mercedes, indoor swimming pool. I'm very jealous. But hopefully I'll be able to answer you in July or August and say, so do I. Would I like to live in Liverpool? No, I like where I live. I do want to move to Spain in the future. It was always my dream to live in America, but that's not happening now. So, yeah, I'll probably, hopefully move to Spain in the next 10 years. But no, I don't want to live in the UK. I don't like how the economy is in the UK, in all honesty. I don't like the idea of you guys leaving or being outside of the EU. And I don't like your tax regime either. I mean, remember when Ben Drawdy was working for us? I used to look at his tax and think, oh, thank God I don't live over there. Craig, I'm glad we got Slot as manager. We got an underrated gem. I feel sorry for Ruben Amram. You know, they're going to break him mentally. I did warn everybody that we weren't to be writing off Arne Slot when he came in. You know, Glenn Johnson and some other former players and some media and some pundits were saying, oh, it's going to be a lamb to the slaughter. He's going to fail after Jurgen. Nobody can come in and fill those shoes. And I wasn't willing to be that guy because my research into Arne Slot gave me an insight into what type of fella he is. And he wasn't coming in to be a make-weight. He had the opportunity to take other Premier League jobs previously, but he waited for the right one. And he made the right decision. And so did the club. So credit to the club for getting Arne. How far are you away from Carlo? It depends what part of Carlo. An hour, maybe? Craig, should Tsimikas or Gomez versus Madrid for Robbo? Yeah, again, Tanya, I think there's a very fair conversation to be had around the left-back situation. Hopefully Costas is going to be recovered from that knock. And if he is, I would imagine most likely you'll see him there. And then the question is, do you go Gomez on the right side or do you stick with Conor Bradley? Lauren said, some of our own fans who are content creators were slot out as soon as he got hired. That's, look, I have an idea, Lauren, how I think you're talking about because, you know, we talk in our Discord a little bit, but I don't know how that mindset works, quite frankly. You might be able to say, right, he wouldn't have been my first choice or whatever if you weren't overly blown away, but how you can be anybody out before he even starts work is mental. Especially if you know anything about Arne Slot, like, so I don't get that. It's not hard to say stupid shit as well, you know, Lauren. I see it week in, week out. People feel like to get noticed in the content world, they have to say stupid shit. And that stupid shit then, you know, gets driven around. They get laughed at, but maybe they feel like they're still getting the attention. And don't get me wrong, I've said some stupid stuff over the years, but I've always tried to make the channel succeed or fail by, you know, my sense of humour and the way I interact. But, you know, I can only look after me, and I'm so happy that Arne is our manager. Yusuf said, just because he wasn't a big name, people were doubting. Again, you know, I can understand. Look, did I think we'd be in this position under Arne Slot? No, I didn't. I'm not going to sit here and profess to think I thought he was coming in to win the league. I did not. I said all along, once he beats the points tally from last year, that's moving forward. And honestly, I thought third place was probably where we're at this season. But what a pleasant surprise to be wrong so far. And there's still more work to be done. You know, we're still working week in, week out, finding new ways with the players to show them tiny little things to change what they're doing, to implement his own thoughts. Hasn't even had a real transfer window yet to start to maybe build what his team is going to look like. So, yeah, there's loads of reasons to be optimistic. Dr. Campo said, I don't think anybody thought Slot was going to be this successful. No, I don't think we did, to be fair. You know, because you looked at Jurgen and you thought, well, we all think of Jurgen as a god. And Jurgen, we felt like, got a lot out of that team last year. But you know what I was always fairly confident about? Is that he was going to manage the squad a bit better. You know, you could see it from the early days. And one of the things when I was researching Arne Slot and why the decision was made to bring him in, one of the things that stood out was that availability of first team players of Feyenoord. Himself and Ruben Peters have a great system there where they were able to keep over 90% availability of first team players. Be a bit more difficult because there's more games in England, but so far so good. And this is why all these little 10-12 minute substitutions will stand us in good stead, because we've fallen away through fatigue and exhaustion, and obviously everybody wanting to give Kloppo the big send off. So, you know, the amount of mental and physical energy that the players went through last season, we fell away at the end. And I think Arne knows that and doesn't want it to happen again. The Leicester players are a joke, said Petter. Cooper sacked, and did you see them partying in Copenhagen last night? No, I didn't. I like Steve Cooper, but you know, Leicester, it's their club and they'll run it, I guess, how they see fit. Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about how their season's been going. I haven't watched much of them, to be honest, but You know, Steve Cooper always comes across like a decent fella. Paul said, we need Mr. Scrooge, John W. Henry to spend in January to strengthen. Well, I'll be chatting with David tomorrow, and I'm going to be, you know, asking again what he's thinking around the January window, of course, the contract situations, see if there's any little nuggets of positivity that maybe we can gain from it. Thoughts for the Madrid game? I take a draw, honestly. Right now, I take a score draw against Madrid. I think we could beat them, of course, but they won 3-0 today. Bellingham actually got himself a goal right at the end. Mbappe opened the score, and then I think maybe Valverde. I can't remember who got the second one. So they won 3-0. This week, though, apart from the travelling to St. Mary's, we've got 2 home games, so I'm hoping that stands us in good stead. Quinelle said, McAllister is so underrated in our team. When he came back in, there was a bit of an urgency in the pressing, became aggressive. I think in January we need a number 6. Ryan has been good, but a typical number 6 we must get. I agree. I agree as well, mate, that I thought we looked better when McAllister came on. I can totally understand and agree with the decision not to start him based off the travelling and the yellow card situation, but when he came on, I thought he made a difference. And I thought Lucho made a difference as well. Lee, you're going to Liverpool tomorrow. Nice. Enjoy. Corbin, 2003, said, my dream signing for us would be Valverde. Yeah, he captained Madrid actually today, mate. He's a great player. And I think he was playing at right back for them today, Valverde, if I'm not mistaken. Do you think Gakpo should start over Núñez in the Madrid game? No, but maybe in the City game. I don't know why, but I've got a feeling that Darwin's going to do something in the Madrid game. Like something good. Something that we're going to be amazed by. I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like that'll be his game. So I would play him there, and then, you know, if he wants to go with Gakpo against Man City, I wouldn't be against that. Lucho on the left, Gakpo through the middle, Salah on the right. I'd have no problem with that either. Who's your left back choice for next summer? De Kuiper at Brugge or ENQUIRIES. I'm still on the fence about Kirkes, especially at 50 million, but ultimately I'm happy if the manager gets his targets. You know, I've said this all the way through. If Arne said this is my guy, then I hope that Richard Hughes goes and gets him that guy. I'm at the next 2 European games at Anfield. Maybe run into you at the Lille game. Yeah, absolutely, mate. I'm going to try to keep my head down, obviously, when I'm there. But I will be in the Carlsberg dugout for the Lille game. We're getting the ferry over, and then we're driving up, going to the game, getting in the van, driving back home straight away. Eddie Blaze said, Núñez against Madrid, Jota against City. There's no way Jota starts. Not a chance. He hasn't got enough fitness. It would be unfair to start him against City. If Jota comes back in after this timeout, it's going to be 15 minutes off the bench. So I wouldn't be getting my hopes up on Jota starting against City. I just don't think he'd have the fitness yet. Bradley, how are you, my friend? And thank you for your super chat. Bradley said, hey Craig, it's been a while. Thoughts on using Diaz over Núñez until Jota is fit? I thought it was silly to take Gakpo off for Diaz today. So yeah, look, there was a lot of people when I was reading through fan forums and stuff who felt like they would have liked to have seen Núñez come off today. And I can understand that. I'm not sitting here saying Darwin Núñez has been brilliant or anything like it. But I did think taking Gakpo off was probably the right choice, because look at how effective Lucho was when he came on. But I can also understand and appreciate that for as much as I think Darwin's improved, he still isn't doing enough as a goal threat. And that's something I can't shy away from, even as somebody who is most likely going to support Darwin. I do feel that, he does need to start putting the ball in the back of the net, or at least being involved in more attacking threats. It's all very well and good occupying defenders and making the runs, and he's done some great defensive work, but he could really do with stepping up and bagging a few. John Power, thank you, bro, for 10 months membership. Appreciate you. John said, hi, Craig. I say bring on Madrid and City. Absolutely. Bring them on. You know, they should be worrying about us at this point, mate, especially City. There's going to be a lot of pressure on those City players. One thing I want to draw your attention to, by the way, we did promise that in all of our late night agenda streams between now and the end of December, we're going to be trying to help Joe to raise £5,500 to buy that wheelchair basketball chair. So you will see a link at the top of the chat. If you are considering sending a super chat or anything, why not use that, whatever, £2, £5, whatever it may be, and contribute it to Joe there. Joe works as a youth worker, works with young people between the ages of 15 and 24. Joe also has cerebral palsy, I believe, as well, and uses wheelchair basketball as his own exercise and his own way of getting that sporting release. He currently uses a borrowed chair from the club that he's at, which is a bit slow and cumbersome. So we're trying to help Joe to live that. Continue on, obviously, his own sporting path, and also just give him that boost for the great work that he's done in his own community, looking after younger people and helping guide them on their journey. So yeah, as always, if you can, we'll obviously be making a donation as well, but we did say we promised Joe we'd give him a heads up throughout the entire month to try and help him to get to that target. Apologies if there's been a lag. Just refresh. I can see it at my end. So yeah, apologies. I can see the lag. So let me know when we're good and I'll go back over that stuff again. But I do apologise on this lag. I don't know where it's come from now, but apologies. Yep, give me a thumbs up when we're good, but a sincere apologies on the lag. Nothing more frustrating as a content creator when that happens. Like, we good? Cool. If you guys are happy, let me know and we'll go back in. Sweet. So yeah, as I was trying to say, we're trying to help Joe raise the £5,500 for the wheelchair basketball chair. Because we want to support good people like Joe who are doing their own, not only putting himself out there playing sport and doing what he's trying to do to better himself, keep himself fit, he's also helping the future leaders of the world. And if we can help Joe to raise that £5,500, it would be an incredible little end of year for us and for Joe. So if you can, rather than sending a super chat or something, maybe just throw a couple of quid into that Just Giving page, and hopefully by the end of December we can get Joe to where he needs to be. And of course we'll be making a donation from the channel as well. So yeah, again, apologies on the lag. It's very frustrating for me because there's not much I can do about it, but I appreciate your understanding. What else was there? There was something else I wanted to go. Oh, tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Don't forget, myself and Lee Gunner with the next episode of the Red Mist podcast. We're going to be live on that channel from 6 p.m. tomorrow night. If you haven't subscribed to the Red Mist podcast, please do check it out. And tomorrow on Anfield Agenda, we've got David Lynch coming on at 3 o'clock. So that video should be out hopefully at about 4:30. Anything in particular you'd like me to ask David? Obviously the contract stuff I'm going to be asking him. Please do fire questions into the chat and I'll do my best to remember them. Jonathan said, just a reminder, Craig, City have now lost 5 in a row and that makes me happy. As it should, Jonathan, my friend, as it should. Have I checked the FPL league? I checked my points. I think I got 42 or 43 this week, something like that. I know there's one more game to go tomorrow, but you know, as I said before, I won't be challenging for the European places in the FPL. I'm definitely I'm the Manchester United of FPL, somewhere around 12th, 13th level, I mean, but in that table, somewhere around 150th, probably 200th. Did you see Roy Keane with the Ipswich fan? I did. I mentioned that earlier on. It's not a great look. Like, how many run-ins now has Roy had with people at games? I think it was an Arsenal fan or something previously. Today, there's a video of him doing the rounds, asking him Asking the Ipswich fan to meet him in the car park afterwards. I mean, I don't know. I can't really say it, and I'm an angry person as well who would react to these type of things. But yeah, not great. What about Rangers from Milan? I don't believe there's anything to that, Kieran. I'd asked David Lynch about that previously. I know there were some links coming from the Milan side suggesting that we were looking at him, but I don't think there's anything to it. If that changes though, I will of course let you know. What are your thoughts on Núñez? Do you think he's going to come good? Do you know what? I'm going to be really honest here, mate, and say I'm not sure. Because I'm not sure if I'm putting red tinted glasses on. You know, a lot of people are still unhappy with what's happening with Darwin. Personally, I see some improvement there. Whether that's enough to satisfy what we need moving forward, I can understand that as well. If you could start adding in a goal every 2 games, something like that now, I feel like that coupled with the improvements that I've seen, I'd be relatively happy. And I also look at it like this. I don't really care who scores. I'm more concerned that we win. And we are winning. And the goals are there. Whoever's scoring them, it kind of is irrelevant. So if the team's playing well and we're playing well, I'm okay. But there is definitely room right across the board for improvement because we haven't hit top gear yet. I can't actually remember many games this season where we've had a consistent good hour. You know, we've had 15, 20 minute patches, maybe even a half, but it would be lovely to just go out and put somebody to the sword, wouldn't it? 5, 6, 7. Seeing how many hard tackles Palmer's been on the end of recently. No, I haven't. Peter, I haven't really been watching too much of Chelsea. Palmer's a good player though. And no surprise to me that he's coming in for some treatment. You know, the great players do. If we beat City, do you think we win the league? Yes, I do. I know people don't want me to say that, but I do. If we beat Manchester City and we go 11 points clear of them, the very least I feel like I should say here is they're not going to be pushing us for the title. Maybe Arsenal can do it, maybe Chelsea can do it, but it's not going to be City because they're not the same team. They just aren't. So if we can beat them and go 11 points clear, in my mind, they're in the rearview mirror. And unless we have a massive capitulation and they somehow become the Man City of old, I just don't see them being a headache for us. But Arsenal, maybe. You know, I'm right on the edge of writing Arsenal off for a title race, but not just yet. Did well to come back today. Can only win the league if we win and don't play well, said Chris Davies. If we win when we don't play well. Sorry, Chris. Yeah, you're right. There's something sweet, isn't there, about winning games when you don't play well. And that today was everything I loved in one afternoon of football. So we went and we got the opening goal. Then we conceded. Then we went behind. And then you find out what the lads are made of. And they answered. And they won. It was near on perfect. You know, as a content creator, it was perfect. But as a fan, you know, you'd wish you weren't put with a meal like that. But God, it feels good when you win afterwards, doesn't it? Samuel, indeed we are top of the league, my friend. Indeed we are. Even the 2 games after are hard away games. Everton 12 can easily go wrong. Yeah, 100% right, Kieran. That trip up to Newcastle is going to be a difficult game. It is midweek, up in Newcastle, under the lights, their fans behind them. Yeah, it makes it so more important that we at least don't lose to Manchester City. Obviously, I want us to win, but yeah, it can very easily see that points gap change from 8 to 3 if we lost to City and drew with Newcastle, say. So yeah, we've got to make sure that we don't take our foot off the gas. Who is your player of the season so far? From Liverpool's perspective or in the Premier League? Because the answer to both is Mohamed Salah. Yeah, I think Mohamed Salah is the right answer in both equations. If I'm not looking at Liverpool, I don't really know. I don't know. Really, I haven't been paying too much attention. I don't like Haaland scoring goals, but he's also disappearing on occasion. Saka's played well. That was a very good goal he scored against Forest, his first one the other day. Palmer obviously had a decent start, but I don't know. I really don't know. Keith Dunn, how are you, mate? Said Craig, still buzzing after the great win today. I think we're going to do it. Love the show. Thank you, and thank you. Yeah, I don't want this week to end. I don't want this little mad period to end, because honestly, some of these results, particularly with Arsenal and City dropping points, I was not expecting. I thought really us, Arsenal and City, coming into the Christmas period, I thought there'd be like 3 points separating all of us. I thought it was going to be really, really close. So to see these surprise results for Man City come up, and I can't say this enough, we should be very heartened by what happened at the Etihad, because remember the week that was in it for Man City. Rodri was there before the game against Spurs, shown the Etihad his Ballon d'Or that I think he very deservedly won. Then you had Pep Guardiola signing the new contract and digging his heels in to say even if they get relegated, he's staying, and it's City against everyone. Everybody hates us and we don't care. And they didn't even put in a performance of any note, and they were rinsed at home by Spurs 4-0. That wasn't the reaction Guardiola wanted or hoped for. That wasn't the reaction I was expecting from City either. So as much as other people keep trying to wish them back to success, they just don't look like themselves. And they don't look like they have the capability to turn this round to the extent that they have previously. No, Rodri is going to be a huge loss. Kovacic is out for a few more weeks. De Bruyne is at the tail end of his career. And Haaland he's a strange one. He's a bit of an enigma. Like, he'll go and score 3s and 4s and then sometimes disappears. Like, to not score at home to Spurs and to lose that badly and to see the stadium empty out, it was all in all a pretty perfect Saturday evening. Do you think Salah could win the Ballon d'Or if we win the Prem? Could do. He was top of the power rankings there when we talked about it midweek. It was him, Lewandowski, and then Rafinha. Look, I really don't care about Ballon d'Ors all that much. I will admit that I was really, really pissed off when Van Dijk didn't win it. More so because I felt we cost Van Dijk the Ballon d'Or, because we had 3 great players that year and our vote was split between Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah and Virgil. And I really felt like Virgil was robbed of a Ballon d'Or that year. But after, it's turned into a farce, to be honest with you, the whole Ballon d'Or thing. The cry arson from Madrid was honestly pathetic over the whole thing. They had 50 seats allocated to them for that show. And once they found out Vinny Jr. wasn't winning it, that was it, toys out with the pram and crying about respect. Where's the respect from them towards the awards that's been very good to their club over the years? And yesterday as well, did you see how quickly the Etihad was emptying? Because there was pockets of seats even before the goals started going in against them that were empty. And I was watching, there were pockets of seats around that stadium and then disappeared. 84 minutes, bye-bye. Half the stadium was empty, nearly at that point. They just, despite what they try, despite all of their greasiness and PR bullshit, they just aren't well supported. And this nonsense about them being some behemoth built up is just bullshit. Again, our eyes don't lie to us. Mark Bavin, thank you, bro, for your super chat. Mark said, "Hey Craig, would it be good if we hit City for 5? I was honoured to receive a reply from you to my email. You're awesome." Oh mate, I'll always try to reply to emails. Sometimes they go into our spam folders. Sometimes maybe Connor will read them before me, so it'll be marked as read and then I'll forget about it. But mate, always try to reply to emails. If somebody takes the time to write to us, I always do my best to try and reply. But also, I don't know mate, about hitting, I'd love to hit City for 5, but I'd also take a scabby 1-0 right now. I just want us to stick that dagger in and make sure that we open up that 11-point gap. Let's make it 6 in a row for City next weekend. Well, they do have Feyenoord in the Champions League midweek, so they probably will be Feyenoord in all honesty. But if they don't, we could be their 7th defeat, and 7 sounds familiar to me. Joe Morrison said, come on Craig, Gravenberch's been our best player so far. Joe Gomez should be at left back, and I truly believe what we're going to win the league. So Joe, I totally appreciate and understand, mate, your comment on Gravenberch. I have an agenda here though, Joe. You know, I'm trying to get Mo that contract. So, you know, work with me here, Joe. But you are right. Gravenberch's been phenomenal. I think he won the first 5, 6, 7 man of the match votes we had on the channel this season. And it probably is the correct answer. But, you know, Mo has a contract renewal coming up. So, you know, let's get behind Mo and hype him up even more. And on the left-back situation or the full-back situation, yeah, I think it would be fair for Gomez to come in and get a run, Joe. I don't think there's anything too crazy about that suggestion whatsoever, mate. Coach Bill said the Gravenberch assist to Salah was top class. It was, but the finish, lads. Oh, the finish. I can tell you as a former goalkeeper, that's horrendous. You're rushing out and you then want to set yourself to force the forward to do something. And he didn't even get that chance. So McCarthy comes rushing out. And just the cheek of Salah to just toe poke it past them. It was so clever. It was genuinely, it was a brilliant finish from Mo. Web Kelway, excuse me if I've mispronounced that, sir, said, the love I have for Darwin 100%, even named my dog after him, but we got to be honest, he's not clutch. Jota's reliable, but in too injury prone. We need a striker, we need Gyökeres and Sporting. So there's a lot I will agree with you there, sir, with what you've written, but I'm going to burst your bubble on Gyökeres because it isn't going to happen. There's a few reasons why, but I know for a fact that Liverpool aren't looking at him, and I've made the case to a few journalists, but it's Marmoush is the most likely one. And again, I would say that if you look into Gyökeres and why he went to Sporting Lisbon, he speaks very openly about the fact that he's a huge fan of Ruben Amorim, and Ruben Amorim is what convinced him to go to Sporting. So I feel like United will sell Xerxes, and I think they'll go for Gyökeres in the summer, and I think they might get him. Yeah, but look, what a season he's having. He's over 30 goals already, I think. But yeah, it won't be us, mate. He's and I don't think he's the right fit for what we need either. I think for us, Marmoush makes the most sense. But the only issue I have with Marmoush is I don't want it to be Marmoush instead of Mo. I want them to play together. Phil McNulty from the BBC is jumping on the signing up Mo's new contract now, saying, what are you saying, Craig? I'll give it to him, David. I'm behind that, yeah. I'm behind all the give Mo his contract stuff, 100%. Spliffy said, try German taxes. I actually have no idea what the taxes are like in Germany, mate. I know from, you know, being an employer to somebody from the UK, we were paying the UK tax system, and yeah, when we were doing up his pay slips, man, I felt sorry for the tax that he was paying, because, you know, it's bad enough here in Ireland, but the UK was worse. 30 goals in Portugal is an impressive look at Falcao. Again, you know, that it's funny you mentioned that, because when I spoke with Gyökeres with David Lynch, and I can't remember if it was on or off camera, that came up as well, is that it's all very well and good. He's doing really well in Sporting, but it is a lower caliber league than the Bundesliga where Gyökeres is, where Marmoush is performing. So, yeah, I think you've made a fair point. Look, I'm still not going to sit here and say that it isn't really impressive what Gyökeres is doing, but I think what you've raised there is a valid comparison. It's a lower quality league. What's this that Mark's saying? So now transfer sector are posting to say that Real Madrid want Martin Zubamendi. that doesn't surprise me, to be honest with you. He's been in their sights for a while. And my fear, if we didn't get him in the summer, was that Alonso comes in and then it's just a no-brainer. So, yeah, that would not surprise me at all if Zubamendi ended up at Real Madrid, if Alonso goes there, because he'll have the idol that was a Sociedad player who then went into Madrid. Yeah, I can see that potentially happening, to be honest with you. It would suck, but yeah, I can see it maybe happening. But again, I'll ask David tomorrow when we speak. This is why we commit tax evasion, Craig. So I don't mind paying my bit. I try and pay as little as possible, like every other human being on the planet. But I've got my tax clearance certs for the last 3 years. I'm all good. Runner Tchouaméni, they have no room, surely. Well, it feels like that's the play from Real Madrid, if I'm being honest with you. You know, when Mark sent that to me and I was reading the quote from Transfer Sector, that's exactly where my head went. And I did say to you, I felt like the stuff around Tchouaméni was not really us being interested, more Madrid trying to ramp up interest in a player that maybe they're willing to sacrifice. And it's easy to link us to a Tchouaméni because, of course, we were sincerely in for Tchouaméni before he went to Madrid when Jurgen was manager. So, yeah, it would not surprise me one bit if they sold Tchouaméni, and I don't know who to, and they bought Zubamendi. You can cheat on many things, but not on your tax. So, again, haven't cheated on any tax, paid my taxes, just like every other human being. Don't like them. But, yeah, I don't know how we got into this tax evasion talk, by the way. It's there's no tax evasion going on. And trust me, if you've seen the money that left the Anfield Agenda company accounts, even with corporation tax, oh my God, it's been disgusting over the last 2 months. I think between VAT and taxes, there was 30 grand in the space of a month came out of the business accounts, and it nearly made me cry. But it is what it is. You pay your taxes, as you said. My birthday's on 3rd of December. It would be awesome to beat both Madrid and City as a present, said Jamie J. It would, mate. It would. I'd also, I'd take a draw with Real Madrid and beat Man City. How do you think about the pen for Southampton? It was outside. Nothing's going to change my mind on that. It was outside. I actually felt like they could have had another penalty for the Kelleher foul. Wouldn't have complained if that was given, in all honesty. The Armstrong one was a joke. He made way too much of that. So yeah, honestly, I don't have any question about Robbo fouling him. The foul was a foul, but it was outside. Daniel said, minus 30k would make me go into the fetal position. It was tough, mate, because it was end of year taxes, so there was corporation tax, income tax, VAT. Yeah, but look, it is what it is. I'm very grateful to have a good accountant that keeps on top of these things for us, that where we don't get too many surprises. So shout out to our accountant. Craig, wish me luck. I'm going to propose to my girlfriend next week. That is awesome. Mate, I wish you every bit of luck. And do let us know what happens. And I'm always available to officiate weddings, as our friend TOTT2KZ1 knows. Now, I've got one more thing that I forgot to bring up earlier. Are you ready? Who's with me? Who's on board? Come on now. All aboard! HMS Pistol League is about to leave. Who's with me? Come on now. You know you're with me. Do you think that was a pen when Maka had his shirt pulled in the second half? Honestly, I don't remember, bro. Today was a game so filled with emotion and me shouting and that I missed a lot of little bits and pieces. Also, I still have the image of the new kits if anybody hasn't seen them. They are the proposed 3 kits that have been leaked for Liverpool next season. I know we've talked about these a few times on the channel, but look at them. Honestly. All of them. Certainly the red and the green one. Lads, if they're true, that red and the green one, that green one's a work of art, honestly. Adidas, welcome home. Welcome home. Now, I need you guys to do me a favour, and I'm unashamedly asking you. When it's announced that Adidas are coming back to Liverpool officially, we need to make it very clear to Adidas who's been repping Adidas for 6.5 years on this channel. Through through Warrior, through New Balance, through Nike, somebody has remained loyal to the 3 stripes. Somebody has rocked up in Adidas gear everywhere. Live shows, streams. Somebody deserves a little bit of Adidas love. So no giving out free shirts to everybody else except Anfield Agenda. Got to be starting with Anfield Agenda this time, Adidas. Come on now. Ain't nobody going to rap Adidas better than me, because I live it. I don't mind the green one. Mate, the green one is a work of art. Oh my god, it's so good. With the old Trefoil logo and stuff on it as well. Oh, green one's gorgeous. What is the one of Kelleher you thought was a pen? Can't remember. So Kelleher comes out and collides into the player. It was like a straight on collision. I didn't say it was a pen. I said I would have understood if it was a pen. I've got a question for you. I'm going to do a quick poll because I actually want to ask you about kits. One sec, I'm just writing this out. And one more. Right, so, quick question, just a quick straw poll. Best recent Liverpool kit manufacturer, and I've given you 3 options. Because I'm going recent, so I'm not including Adidas in this one. So, Nike, Warrior, or New Balance. Vote away and let me know who you think of those 3. Because I'm not going to tell you my answer, because this time I'm interested to know if we're on the same wavelength. So yeah, vote away. Nike, New Balance, Warrior. Who's been the best of those 3? Oh, okay. So that's the handball. I didn't see that actually during the game. Well, yeah, that's certainly an arms out by his side making his pirouette bigger. Interesting one. Thank you, Mark, for sending that on to me. Yeah, that's a blatant handball. What do you think is the worst VAR mistake? The disallowed Diaz goal has to be it. 100%. That's the worst one. Because it felt rushed, tired and cocky the way that went through. The communication wasn't great. So I'm going to give you a little bit longer to vote in the poll because I don't want to influence your answer. But I have a very clear answer on who I think has been the best kit manufacturer in the last, I don't know, 15 years or so. Sean said Adidas going to be sponsoring the Premier League champions. It looks like that deal could be worth up to £90 million a year, by the way, based off some of the reports. Stephen said Nike's been good, but the price tag for the kits are disgraceful. So, honestly, I don't think they have been good myself. Do you know what really annoys me about Nike? Is the stuff that we didn't get. So, we got stuck with the LeBron James awful stuff. Like, his logo's awful. The designs of all things he's crossed over at Liverpool have been awful. Certainly not pitched to the hardcore fan base anyway. And then I look at PSG and I look at the Jordan stuff and I just think what could have been with Nike. Because imagine we got some of that Jordan stuff. Oh, could have been so much better. Even if you look at some of the Inter Milan stuff that they've had, some of the Nike Air Max trainers and stuff like that, I felt like we've been shortchanged by Nike because it had the potential to be so much more than it was.
You need to change to Under Armour so I have an excuse to buy some training gear.
Ain't nobody buying no Under Armour shit, love. My wife has a hard on for Under Armour and now she just wants everything Under Armour.
You need to name me AJ.
I'm not going to name you AJ.
No, I said you call me AJ one day.
I said you want to be AJ.
Yeah. Can I get a deal like you?
What, where you get knocked out? Yeah, I could make that happen.
You know I'd knock you out.
You would. I know. You'd make me tap anyway.
Yeah.
Can I see the league kits? Of course, yeah. Angelo, 1 second, bro. Let me just get these open for you. There you go. No problem, Angelo. For me, mate, the red one and the green one are absolutely getting bought. I'm not great in white. White doesn't suit me too much, so I'm going to have a look at the white one as well. Because I do like it as a kit. It's just a personal thing with white and me. But yeah, look at the red one and the green one. Oh, definitely. Like, they're all lovely. But I'm definitely buying... No, I'm not. I'm definitely begging Adidas to give me 2 free ones. The green one and the red one. So are you going to do me that favour? When Liverpool announce Adidas, are we going to be tagging Anfield Agenda on all your social media posts, telling Adidas that it's time to show the love? Because you watch my streams. I'm always in Adidas. Always. Can you please put up the handball video? I can't. I can't play that video, mate. It would be done for copyright. Wayne said, I'm up for that white shirt all day. Yeah, they're all lovely, Wayne. All of them. You know, for me, the green one, though. The green one really just brings back memories. The red one's lovely as well. Yeah, they're all good. All 3 of those kits are good kits. Yeah, the green one with the older logo is the one for me. That's my favourite, definitely. I would love it if Adidas brought out Adidas Salah trainers. Oh, yeah. I'd be buying them. Yeah. 100% agree with that, Tony. If they brought out a pair of Salah Sambas or something like that. Oh, yeah, sign me up for them. Egyptian colours, red, black and white even. Perfect. Right, so now the poll's been up long enough and I'm not potentially going to influence it. I'll give you my answer. It's New Balance. For me, based off what we've seen from Nike, from Warrior and New Balance, I loved New Balance. I thought New Balance were fantastic. I thought the clothes were brilliant. I thought the trainers were brilliant. I've still got, you know, those... actually, I think I have a picture of them. 1 second. I want to show you them because I still have these in the box upstairs, never been worn. I'm just trying to make sure I have a photo here so I don't look like a dope. And of course I don't. I always shoot myself in the foot, don't I? Giving it the big mouth and then remember I don't have them. Yeah, I don't have the photo. I've still got the white ones with the purple and orange from New Balance.
Which one of the many pairs of runners and boxes is it you're looking for?
The white ones, the New Balance ones. The white, orange and purple. The Liverpool kit ones.
Yeah. I'll find them.
Thank you. My wife tried to take the piss out of me there. Said, which one of the many new pairs of runners and boxes upstairs is it?
It's supposed to go on your feet.
Yeah, myself and Sabrina are kind of freaks when it comes to trainers. Jordan said, been let down by Nike, really. I wore more Nike than anything, but kits have been mid-par a few. Do you know what? They've also just been copy and paste kits. Like the goalkeeper kit. There's been about 6 or 7 different clubs and national teams with that kit. It's just been lazy from Nike, yeah. You know, we were promised LeBron, we were promised Serena Williams, we were promised Drake, we were promised loads of stuff. And then every time I look at PSG stuff, I just feel jealous. The New Balance goalkeeper kit was beautiful. That black and gold goalkeeper's kit is Stunning. My little boy has it, and I do have the picture of him in it, I'm sure. So 1 second.
They've never even been on footy. So paper inside them.
I know. They've never been worn. They never will be worn. These ones.
You can put NFC inside on this one.
These are the New Balance ones. Thank you.
You got that bit.
They know what the live bread looks like. Yes, those ones are amazing. And I'm never wearing them. I'm just keeping them up. Yeah, that black and gold keeper's kit was gorgeous though. What's the best Liverpool kit of all time? I would say, for me, I would go 1987, 88. You know the one that was Crown Paints, changed to candy, but it was the same jersey? That one, but the Crown Paints version. That is my, that's my dream Liverpool shirt to actually get my hands on someday. My first ever one was that grey candy fleck one, the John Barnes kit as I call it, or the Ian Rush kit. I'd buy a pair of Salah's. Yeah, so would I, Joe. 100%. Love the hoodie. Thank you, Lee. I wish I had a trainer assistant. Oh, between me and my wife, honestly, like we don't smoke cigarettes. We don't drink alcohol very much. So, you know, we're kind of boring people, me and Sabrina. We kind of keep to ourselves. Don't go out much. Don't socialise much. But we spend any spare cash we have usually on trainers. Like, I've got multiple pairs of the same shoes and stuff in boxes that I like. Yeah, we have a problem. What is your favourite Liverpool match? Istanbul or Barcelona? So, I was lucky enough to be in Istanbul, and I should probably answer Istanbul, but there was something really special about sharing that Barcelona game with everybody, because our channel was only starting out. Well, I think we only had like 18,000 subscribers or something. Something small anyway, maybe it was less than 50. And I'll never ever forget that game as long as I live. Never. It was incredible. I was moved to tears. Happy tears. It was just, I didn't believe what I was looking at. No Salah, no Firmino. Robbo went off injured, I think, in the game. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable. You're not bored. No, I meant we're boring as in we don't socialise much, we don't go out much, we don't party much. We stay at home, mind our own business, partake in some herbal infusions. But yeah, we're very like my wife's my best friend. I'm never afraid to admit that. Once I'm with Sabrina, I'm happy. Barcelona was so insane, said Samuel Elliott. My favourites of all time. My first kit with the 3 stripes on the shoulder in 1991. Wow. Cheesecake or waffle? Oh, cheesecake. Defo. Mate, I love me a cheesecake. But pancakes might have been a different question. Did I ever show you the pancakes I got for my birthday in Lanzarote? I'll show you these babies. These were legit pancakes. Wait till you see this. Look at those. Look at those. Look at that plate of pancakes. Got those over in Lanzarote when we were away in September, and it was my birthday. So I said I'm having a plate of pancakes. And do you know what? $8.50 is all that cost for that big pile of pancakes. $8.50. It was immense. It was filth. Yeah, Biscoff. It was Biscoff, caramel sauce, and ice cream. Oh, I couldn't eat them all, but oh my god, it was good. I'm a big sweet tooth person. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say goodnight to you all. I'm going to go watch the rest of the NFL for the evening, and I'm going to get myself some food. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Remember, if you can donate to Joe, please do. We're looking to raise that money for Joe to get that chair. If you can help out, please do. New Balance won the vote as well with 58%. You think New Balance have been the best recent kit manufacturers. And yeah, tomorrow, David Lynch video will be out at about 4:30. And then I'll be live with the Late Night Agenda tomorrow night. So loads to get through. The Madrid preview will be coming out on Tuesday morning. And yeah, busy week ahead. So much love. Thank you to everyone that's joined us tonight. Do like the stream before you head off if you can. And I'll see you tomorrow. Much love. Bye-bye.